What is going on, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer and Tim Hyde live with you on a special Tuesday night. Tim, thank you for being available on a Tuesday night. I'm heading down to
Always.
Florida to see some family tomorrow morning for first thing in the morning. So, yeah, this is great for us to knock out this Thanksgiving week. Hopefully, everyone watching is doing well today. Of course, hit the thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to our channel for more content. Head to blueandgold.com for much more on Notre Dame football. Tim, you got any big Thanksgiving plans?
No, a lot of football. A lot of football. A lot of football. I already told my kids, don't bug dad. I'm on the couch. And they're like, no problem, dad. Don't bug me. So, no, it's football. Football, I get a lot of food, as I like to call, a lot of bread, a lot of butter, a lot of flour products, a lot of gravy. How can you complain on days like that, right? So, and then we get ready for Notre Dame, get that win number 9, figure out who they're going to play in a bowl game, and on to 2024, man. Cycle keeps going, Mike. And it's another season of wishing and dreaming for a championship. So we're almost there. Off-season talk, right? I'm actually excited for that.
All right. Well, I think Tim just kind of summed up everything. So that's gonna do it for this episode.
Just keep going.
But seriously, yeah. Bread, gravy, and football. Amen. Says the comments are here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Colin's hanging out with us. Couple of good-looking Notre Dame football guys right there. Dynamic duo.
Thank you.
I mean, it's really just Tim. I mean, come on. How about this comment? Crespi needs you back, Tim. How about that?
Man, yeah. I'm not going to comment there, but anyway, yeah. He probably remembers the year. Yeah, man, I had a great defense there. We had a hell of a year that year. Had a lot of fun. That's a great place. I saw a Crespi guy I posted on Kyle Kelly was talking about all the recruits on campus this week, and there was a Crespi tight end.
Cool.
I wrote Self Pride, and someone messaged me like, "What do you mean by Self Pride?" It's Crespi. So long stories, but yeah. That was really cool to see a 2026 kid out there last weekend. So
yeah, so Crespi, I think that was like your last big high school job that you had before moving out to the Northeast, right, Tim?
Yeah, that's big. Yeah, that's big boy ball playing out there in the SoCal Catholic. So there's no telling you, I'm biased, Mike. There's nothing like SoCal Catholics. It is some real football.
Yeah, for sure. Like Colin says here, smash the like button. And Notre Dame has a player from Crespi on its team, Chance Tucker, who signed in the 2021 class. So he hasn't really been a factor in the Notre Dame defense just yet, but do expect him.
The Salerno brothers.
Salerno brothers. So that's 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forgot about Salerno brothers went there. So yeah, while Chance Tucker hasn't been a factor on the Notre Dame team yet, I do want to talk to you guys about factor. So listen, the other day, my wife and I just looked at each other because we were busy and we could not get to the grocery store. And then the door rang and this beautiful brown box showed up at our door, and we had our dinners for the week with Factor, sponsor for today's show. Really excited about this one, and I hope that you guys go to factor75.com because or just factor.com, excuse me. Factor75.com believes the promo code. But anyways, yes, because I want them as a longtime sponsor for this show because I am really enjoying eating these Factor dinners. So folks, if you are too busy with holiday plans to cook, but you want to make sure you are eating well with Factor, you're going to skip that extra trip to the grocery store and shopping, prepping, and cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality that you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes. All you have to do is heat and enjoy. I've had many of these like meal service plan things, and this one has been by far my favorite because I don't actually have to cook. It comes to your door refrigerated, and it's super quick. If it's in the microwave, it's a couple minutes, and I put my oven to 375 and heat it up for like 6-7 minutes, and it was fantastic, fresh, good quality food. So this November, folks, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just a couple minutes. No prep, no mess, and again, fantastic stuff. Head to factormeals.com. So there's the website, factormeals.com. factormeals.com/BGI and use that promo code BGI to get 50% off. Again, folks, factormeals.com/BGI50 and use the promo code BGI50 to get 50% off your first order. All right, let's dive into the show, Tim. Steve Angeli, okay? A lot of Notre Dame fans on the message board and on Twitter are just saying, why not just play him? The season is quote unquote over. We're not going to the playoff. If you can't go to the playoff, Tim, what do you want to do? You want to go play in the New Year's Six Bowl? Notre Dame's not going to play in the New Year's Six Bowl. Just play for the future. So let's actually just unpack this. Would you like to see Hartman bench and Angeli, just throw him out there, give him an audition for next year? Like, what are your thoughts on that whole topic?
Okay, so we're gonna bench Hartman and start preparing for next season. So they're going to bench the other 25, 30 guys that walked out last week. I mean, let's just make it a giant spring game, right? So just do a little spring game, which is about, I think they're 99% sure, probably locked into playing Brian Kelly and LSU. Hell, it's just, what's it matter, right? They're going to go to the ReliaQuest Bowl, which, by the way, I locked in. I was trying to say, how does this LSU thing work? Because you got, obviously, SEC is going to have one go to the playoff, the Bama, Georgia. Hell, they may get two in, so who knows?
Yeah.
One's going to go to the Orange Bowl, and then you got Ole Miss is pretty much locked into the Citrus Bowl as the SEC number 2, which then all these other SEC bowls, they take 3 to 8. So who do you think wants LSU and Notre Dame, the ReliaQuest Bowl? So, man, I don't understand this. This has been the weirdest world the last 72 hours, whatever it's been since that football game. Ever since then, people are like, oh, just play exactly like you're saying, Mike. Play Angeli, who gives a damn? Nothing matters. All right, then tell the bowl reps that. Tell all the people buying tickets that. Tell thousands. None of it makes sense. So you're telling me, Mike, 3 years from now, let's say you're recruiting this class and you got Gerby Lambert comes, and you're going to tell Gerby, if we're not that good in 3 years, you're not going to play in the bowl game, right? So is this the pattern Notre Dame fans want? It is wild. I don't understand it. It's a bowl game. It's January 1st. They're going to kick off the New Year's Day against LSU. Go have some fun.
Yeah.
Go win the damn game. I mean, seriously, I do not understand this thought process of just throw everything away and have a giant spring game on January 1st. If that's what you want to do, then tell everyone else to sit out. Go for it. If that's the policy. And Mike, let me ask you this. So no Notre Dame fans will be upset, right? Marcus Freeman, you know what? We're going to sit 30 dudes this game. We're going to sit 30. We're only going to suit up, 50? We're going to get some walk-ons, a nice little scholarship for one game. So no Notre Dame fans will be upset. They go lose to Brian Kelly if they do this, right? If so, then heck, let's go for it.
Yeah. I think that Notre Dame fans were thinking, just play for the future right now. They're not really thinking with their brain. Like they're just kind of saying that. And yes, that would be nice in a vacuum, right? If I am playing, which, by the way, I will be playing NCAA 24. When that video game comes out in the summer, I will be playing it. You'll find me on Twitch playing it. It's going to be so much fun. And
you're going to have to get me involved in that, by the way, because I'm dying just to jump in and learn how to do all that. So
are you going to play some video games with me, Tim?
Oh, no, when NCAA 24, I'm hyped for that. So it's like, might as well jump in, right? So there you go.
So you'll watch me, or you want to play NCAA with me?
Oh, I'm going to have to learn. So yeah, I'm going to have to learn. So you'll kick my butt for about 6 months until I figure it out. So we'll do that.
All right. Well, I'm hyped. This is what the people have been asking for.
But hey, you know what?
Wait. Let me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
When I play it and I'm streaming it and we're having a great time, I'm benching whoever to get Steve Angeli starting for sure. But that's the thing. It's a video game. There's no emotions in the video game. It just is what it is. Like, that's not the way real world works. Tim, you mentioned some of those things, like, the people going to the game, the people picking the bowls, like they want Notre Dame starters playing. Well, what about like Marcus Freeman trying to get to 10 wins? I mean, 10 for a common Notre Dame fan who just wants that big win to, get a marquee win, go win a playoff game, go win the national title, win a New Year's Six bowl because Notre Dame hasn't done that so long. The difference between 8, 9, 10 wins means nothing to you. It's all of the same. But 10 wins Marcus Freeman, I mean, that's got to be a big deal, especially Tim, new AD, new president. Like, those guys did not hire. Pete Bevekwa did not hire Marcus Freeman. So you need to have a strong showing for your new boss. So I think getting to 10 wins is extremely important for Marcus Freeman. So if Steve Angeli is the best quarterback on the roster, then play him. But you got to run out whoever is going to give you the best chance to win 10 games. So I think, going with Hartman would be crazy. And I'll just add real quick, Tim, before you go.
Sure.
So the headline of this is of our podcast, of our video is we're talking about should Steve Angeli start the final 2 games.
Oh, I see.
And part of that is because we're in a little bit we have to find a strong headline to open this show, to lead this show, because it's not a marquee game. Stanford stinks. There's not a ton to play for. So I just kind of want to throw that out there. It's a fun talking point for the fans, because we like to, what Tim and I talk about on our show is what you guys are talking about on the message boards and Twitter. Like, we're not going to sit here and break down the Notre Dame special teams because you guys don't ever talk about the special, so we talk about what we think you guys care about. Just based on the chat so far, I think that we hit the nail on the head there. So I just kind of want to throw that out there. If you guys are like, Mike, why are you talking about this? Just kind of let you guys behind the curtain on that. So Tim, I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, no, exactly, Mike, because it is a big topic. I mean, you go on any social media site and that's all people are talking about. Who cares about the rest of the year? Just play Angeli, which I need to ask then, when and where has Marcus Freeman said Steve Angeli is our quarterback in 2024? Where has this come from? He's already said he's going to get number 4. So if he's getting number 4, someone who wants to break this down means Angeli, Minchie, CJ Carr. He doesn't think any of those 3 guys are the guy, because you and I have talked a million times. What's his idea of getting 4 quarterbacks? It's going to be difficult to maintain and hold that. So I haven't heard Marcus Freeman say he's our guy, so we need to get him ready. If he was the guy, right? If he was the guy and this is a minor bowl, heck, if that's what you want to do, but he's not. But he's never said he's the guy.
Why would he say that even?
Why not? If this is our guy, if this is the next man in, Mike, Steve Angeli's been the number 2 quarterback for 2 years in a row by default. Let's don't ever forget that. I know you don't like that, but it's true. Injuries and 2 quarterbacks transferring this year make him number 2. Let's all remember that, which some don't like to remember that, but that's okay. So when has he proven that he's the dude? I don't understand this mindset. So people also, which cracks me up, is people like, well, it's got to be an open competition in the spring. Okay, great. So if it's an open competition, let's go Minchie and Angeli 50-50 reps. Stanford and in the bowl game, if that's what we're going to do. If it's truly an open competition, why is Minchie constantly being pushed aside? I don't understand that. It's only Angeli. Why? Because he's there 6 months longer than Minchie's been there? Is that what it is? None of that makes sense to me. And then real quick on this 10-win thing, Mike. Notre Dame is, let's be brutally honest, has not been a national powerhouse since the great 1993 season. So if Notre Dame wins 10 games this year, 30 years, it's only going to be the 10th time in 30 years that they have won 10 games. So anyone who doesn't think that's important, man, I don't know. I don't know what to think. They win 9 games this week against Stanford, Mike. That is only going to be 16 out of 30 years, 9 wins or more. So this year, no matter how upset fans are with this football team, this 2023 football team is in the upper echelon of Notre Dame football in the last 30 years. That tells you where Notre Dame's been.
Yeah.
So enjoy the wins, man. Enjoy the wins. Keep building, and then see what happens down the road.
Okay. I'm trying to remember.
42 things out there to go for.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember your 2 points. Like, I still think even if they thought Steve was the guy, like no brainer, we're going with him. You still don't say that now, because I think that sends a bad message to Minchie. Like you still let the guys duke it out in the spring. So,
but if he's the guy, but no. Are you kidding me? Notre Dame has had plenty of number 2 quarterbacks people have known about in the future. That's the next man in.
And they guaranteed it in the fall for the next, like the year before.
Everyone knew Malik Zaire was going to be the quarterback after Golson left. Everyone knew there was a process moving forward. As soon as you had Reese,
Golson, you don't go out and say it publicly.
Well, you don't have to have a banner headline for crying out loud. You don't have to put it, hey, this is my guy. But there's, and this is the other thing, which I love with all of Notre Dame reporting, there's zero buzz. There's no leaks. There's leaks every 16 minutes out of Notre Dame on something, for crying out loud. There's no leaks like, man, this guy's it. This is our dude. Guys, you have no clue. You should see this guy in practice. He's unbelievable. Our defense can't handle him, blah, blah. There's zero of that. Mike, there's been zero of that. Where in the past, with some of the other quarterbacks, it was always talked up like, that's our guy. We know this guy's going to lead us down the road. We got to get him reps. They did that with Buckner. They knew that was the guy. They gave him reps as a freshman.
How'd that go?
Exactly. Ask Alabama as he's bouncing passes in the South Florida game. How'd that go? So, yeah.
Your second point in that, I already forgot it, but
I have no idea.
Yeah, tomato.
It was the whole Minchie thing. If it's truly, as you just said, Mike, and others are talking about, a true competition, then why isn't Minchie getting any reps?
I think it's a wide open. I think it's a wide open battle.
Sure, but I'm talking about in Stanford in the bowl game. Then you let him play. Let them both play. There's literally fans out there who believe that this is just like a spring game, which is fascinating.
Hey man, I for the content, I would love if they gave 33% to each quarterback. Can you imagine, Tim?
I know, but the whole, they're going to get a transfer quarterback. He's already said it's going to happen. I think fans need to just start coming to grips, as you've said 1,000 times, Mike, like this is college football these days. This is the way college football is going to work. So if he can enhance, I think you used that word before, which I love. If he can enhance a room, enhance a position, you have to do it. I mean, look at the best players on Saturday. A bunch of transfers.
I know you're the jury for you is very, very much still out on Angeli. I get
without a doubt.
And it is for me too, in terms of like the starter, right? Whether he's the starter, but obviously I like him a lot more as a player than you do. Not that you don't like him, but I just like him a lot more. I have since he was before he was a junior in high school. But you mentioned the thing about there's no reports coming out about Tim. I'm looking. Well, I am one of these reporters, Tim, and I do talk to people. So, Tim, as you were just talking, I pulled up some of my notes. If Angeli sticks this upcoming season, I think my understanding is that Notre Dame. Well, I have to word this
let's just back up. If he's the quarterback in 2024, he's the quarterback in 25. So he's going to be a 2-year starter. I think whoever wins the job, unless they obviously if they get one more guy for 1 year, but if Minchie, Carr, Angeli win it, they're going to be multi-year starters.
I'm thanking you for just kind of talking right there because you gave me a second to collect my thoughts. I don't want to say exactly what my notes had said, but Notre Dame would be comfortable starting him. They like him a lot. Minchie has been balling at practice too. So I think I do think it's going to be pretty open unless they get this year Sam Hartman. When I say this year Sam Hartman, I mean like, okay, you're bringing in a transfer and he is starting. Sorry, Steve and Kenny. Like it's a competition, but this guy's starting. But otherwise, I think it's going to be a competition between those three guys, maybe even 4 with Carr. But yeah,
Yeah, you know what? Because we started to hear about Hartman way back when that was taking place, around this time last year. But it's like this year, yeah, it's fascinating to see who's going to be the transfers because obviously there's going to be a huge influx of guys going pro. And then your transfer quarterbacks, I've been reading a bunch of like some MAC guys or this SMU Memphis guy coming from the AAC, or SMU's going to the ACC, but you know what I mean, down there, the AAC, whatever conference that is. Then you got Riley Leonard, who's, an athlete. You got the Kansas State guy you keep hearing about, who's a pretty good football player, but he's lower than as many people are dislike Hartman. He's lower than Hartman this year when it comes to stats and ratings and things of that nature. So I don't know really who's out there that's going to wow Notre Dame fans other than a fourth guy in the room, so to speak. And if it is Angeli, then fine. All Notre Dame fans will rally about him. I told you I'll do 2 backflips. I'll learn how to backflip, and I'll do 2 of them for everybody. If he's the guy, then so be it. I just want Notre Dame to win football games. I don't think he's a quarterback enough to take Notre Dame to a playoff game. That's just my humble opinion when I watch him. And I don't know how people could, but the other thing, how do you judge him, right? If I'm being honest, how can I truly judge him on fourth quarter reps when everyone else is judging him like, oh, he's a superstar, he's doing this, he's checking a play and all this other stuff? Well, yeah. Well, he hasn't been game planned against. He hasn't been schemed against. He hasn't faced blitzes. He hasn't done any of that. So
let me ask you this, Tim. So you made the comment like, I don't think Angeli is the guy to take Notre Dame to a playoff. But like, if you think about Ian Book, like he took Notre Dame to 2 playoffs, right?
Yeah, but also he could run like crazy. He was a competitor.
But he wasn't that good. Like he was pretty good.
Last I checked, there's only been a couple Notre Dame guys drafted since, Rick Meyer, who was the 2nd, 3rd pick in the draft. Only a couple of them. He's one of them. Ian Book was no stiff. Ian Book could play quarterback.
He is no stiff, but like he's not like.
I'll take Ian Book in 2024.
I would take Ian Book in 2024 too, but if we're gonna compare like Book and Cone and Hartman, to me it's all kind of the same. Would you say like Book is like head and shoulders above Hartman or Cone, the latter of 2 who didn't take Notre Dame to the playoffs? So that's I would just kind of push back a little bit on that.
But it's also at the level. Obviously, the 21 schedule ended up being soft as butter. That's how they got up to number 5. But Cone wasn't dynamic, but it was a combination of Cone prepping Buckner for the future. Obviously, Pine helped bail him out in the Wisconsin game thanks to the kickoff return and the other, the interceptions and whatnot. But he played a role in that. And then with Hartman this year, hey, I'm going to keep sticking to my thoughts when it comes to Notre Dame football. I don't think Notre Dame football is going to win any damn title until they get a dude on the outside who's going to catch the pass and put the fear of God into people. They haven't had that in ages, and and I'm just talking a quick pass go. When was the last time we saw Notre Dame throw a slant and the dude went 50 yards? Ages. So, and I think that is, we talk about the modern game, the spread game, things of that nature. Trying to sit there and go 12 personnel, which by the way, Georgia does it a ton, but Georgia's got dudes on the outside that are going to run by your ass. That's why they pound the ball down you, because they don't play 9-man fronts. You can't play 9-man fronts against Georgia because it's cover 0 on the outside and they'll run by you. Notre Dame constantly sees 9-man fronts because who's threatening them outside? That's just got to be that cycle. And hopefully 2024, these guys just grow up. One of these freshmen rises up and he's a dude. So there you go. I'm just yapping now about wide receivers and quarterbacks, but
that's good. That's good points, Tim, as always. Jason Smith said, I hope Steve is as good as Mike says because I refinance my house and put it all on Steve because I believe in Mike. Well, damn, Jason. Good luck to you.
Oh, go ahead.
Andrew says, Tim, it was nice to see. Andrew, appreciate the 10. Said, Tim, it was nice to see the receivers have a good game, but Notre Dame has another good tight end, Eli Raridan. That makes 3 or 4 for next year. How does Parker use these tight ends to help the receiver room?
I mean, once again, we're talking about tight ends. It's no disrespect, Andrew, but it's like we're always talking about tight ends. When are we going to start talking about wide receivers? So yeah, I mean, there's going to be good, solid tight ends. So is Notre Dame going to be a constant 12 personnel team? Are they going to always live? I am dying for the time where Notre Dame goes trips against Wake and the tight end's not in the damn game. I'm dying for that.
Yeah.
When Notre Dame goes 4 wides, cover
Yeah.
us. I'm dying for the day where we watch Notre Dame do a 2-minute drill and Evans isn't playing the outside
10
receiver
personnel.
and stays as the slot. When are
You
we
know what?
see?
I
That's
would
what I want to see.
I would love to know a stat on how often Notre Dame's actually played in 10 personnel.
Oh, I got the numbers. They're at home. I chart every personnel. I'm talking like single digits, Mike. Single digits of like true 4 wides. Okay. There's sometimes I thought it was more than others. I'm like, oh crap, that's Great House. Like early in the season, in my rewatches, because I chart it live in case we ever chat about it in our after shows. I always know 12, 11. But yeah, when they go trips and doubles, there's a tight end out there 99% of the time. So yeah, Raritan's a stud. He's physical. He's tall. He's athletic as hell. But I want to get to a point where Notre Dame is playing 11 personnel, 3 wides on the field, true inline, just true. And then if it's 3rd and 12, boom, we got 4 quick guys out there and go dump the ball to those guys and have fun.
Yeah. Obviously, part of the reason no 10 personnel is, the receiver depth, talent overall.
Yeah.
But
the depth, yes.
Andrew Gilmore, really appreciate the generous super chats. Any Davis says Angeli needs to be on the roster even if the transfer comes, and I agree with you, and I know Notre Dame agrees with you as well. He's looked good every opportunity. Letting him go and chancing on Minchie's not an upgrade. I mean, it could be, dude. I don't know.
No.
But yeah, Notre Dame again. If Angeli does not start this year, that is not an indication that Notre Dame is like, you got to go. Like, they would still believe in him for the year for 2025. Like, no, and that is not like, that's not like a company like that is on good authority. So, yeah, they really like Angeli, and Notre Dame, and his play this year has only helped that.
I'm with you, because it's like whoever they bring in, they bring in, Joe Schmo. Speaking of Joe Schmo, isn't that like the last Slow, the guy from Texas Tech? He was an Oregon guy, Texas Tech, whatever his last name is, something.
Oh, Shoe. Yeah, Tyler Shoe.
God, exactly. Let's say he comes from Texas Tech, right? Experience at Oregon, Texas Tech. He comes to Notre Dame, and he comes right away. Angeli and Minchie, one of those guys they're going to battle that like crazy, because one of them is going to be 1 snap away from being the guy. So what are the odds once again of that guy going to take every single snap? Hartman's been unbelievable to stay healthy this year. It really has.
Everyone knock on wood real quick.
Well, hell, why? Who cares if we knock on wood and play Angeli? Everyone will say. I mean, no one will give a damn if he breaks his leg on Saturday. They'll play. Hey, great.
All right, Tim is joking. Tim is joking.
I'm joking. But at the same time, yeah, Angeli shouldn't leave, especially if they get another 1-year guy, because he's 1 snap away. You got it. And that's where Tyler Buckner screwed up. I mean, you got to be honest about this. What the hell was he thinking? Especially knowing Hartman is technically done after Stanford. He's technically done.
So, Tim.
So he's done. I mean, Buckner's career is over with. So
what Angeli's situation right now is exactly what Buckner was last year.
Yes.
And I think that Angeli is not going to do what Buckner did, because there's no guarantees on the way where you're going. And Angeli loves Notre Dame from what I understand. And I don't think he wants to leave here. So, yeah, it's a great point. Like, Buckner could have really, like, you refine your game kind of deal. You know what? Maybe I don't want to say that. I can hear Mike Goolsby being like, no, you get better by playing. But I don't know. Maybe Buckner could have really kind of turned things around at Notre Dame. But there's that competitor in you,
sure,
that you don't want to sit on the bench, especially you played as a freshman a good bit. You were the guy in 2022. You were the bowl game MVP against an SEC team, scoring 6 touchdowns or 5 touchdowns in the game. I know a couple of them were for the other team. Oh, it was 7.
Yeah.
7.
But
A couple were the other team, but
yeah. I mean, just quick 30 seconds on Tyler. It's like, I understand why he left. I get it. because Nick Saban did not want Milroe to be his quarterback. He was done. He was like, go get me a guy. Oh, boom. They're going to take Hartman. Reese obviously has the connection. Saban did not want Milroe to be the quarterback. So it's unbelievable. As many people hate Tommy Reese, what he's done with Milroe. And he's going to be the Heisman favorite next year, obviously. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, looking back for Tyler, I mean, Mike, they played a 1AA this week. They played 3 quarterbacks. Guess one didn't play. So that tells you he's number 4.
Yeah.
It sucks. A bad decision. And I hope Angeli doesn't make that decision.
Folks, if you're just joining us, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, of course, if you are new here. And I hope you enjoy 2024 quarterback conversation number 16. And we have about 484 more to go before Texas A&M game next year. Annie Davis, appreciate the super chats. Andrew says, you are dead wrong, Tim, about Angeli getting a second year if he starts in 2024. Ask Cade McNamara, Major Applewhite, heck, even Tom Brady. They got benched. So you would assume he would if he was the starter in 2024. Then that's what he's saying, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Cade McNamara got beat out by a better quarterback. Obviously, Applewhite, exactly. He's no doubt about it with Brady. Who's that? That was Henson, right? Drew Henson and him were battling that year. Yeah. But yeah, they still went to the Orange Bowl that year and beat Alabama. That Michigan team, I believe, was Brady's last game. But no, I understand not automatic. So if he's not automatic, then why the hell are we giving Angeli snaps this year, starting him thinking he is the guy in 24? So if you're going to play him in 24, you might as well think he's going to be the guy in 25. If he gets beaten out in 25, that means Minchie's in his 3rd year. Carr's better than him after 18 months. Deuce Knight, I'm not going to count because I'm just not going to count freshmen. So here you are on the crazy quarterback talk, Mike, that never freaking ends.
Tim, that right there was a little even too much for me to follow. But
exactly, because it's exhausting.
It's fun. Andrew, appreciate the super chats as always. Irish Mills a little bit ago said Angeli greater than Buckner, but y'all don't want to have that conversation. Irish Mills, you must be new here, buddy. That's all I'm going to say to that. Corey Ruth, very generous $20 super chat from a dapper man. Appreciate it. He says, we've never witnessed Steve Angeli play less than stellar in a game, beginning with that spring game in 2022, where he had that little rushing touchdown at the end. Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty good. He should hang it up right now because of that completion percentage. And
Didn't Hartman say that?
Yeah,
I think Hartman said that right after the game. Hey, take it while you can, buddy. Your stats really nice. So no, but he is right. Corey's right. He has played stellar, and we talked about this in our post-game show Saturday. Like, Tennessee State, obviously, Central Michigan, and then the last couple of weeks he's gotten in. He's been solid. He's a better quarterback against Wake than he was against Tennessee State. They didn't let him throw the ball against Tennessee State. It was all screens. Now he's starting to do things. He's been in the system. Obviously, he made the nice audible that that Parker got into. I thought that was a great Q&A with Parker, breaking that whole play down for Angeli. So, which is hilarious because it shows everyone that doesn't think quarterbacks are being coached, and then Parker's breaking into detail how they've coached Angeli to make that check, and Angeli goes out and do that. So, high five to Steve for taking the coaching and going out there and learning. That's the way I look at that.
Yeah. Tyler Horka did a show with Darren Pritchard earlier today, and one of the questions for that was, what concerns would you have about Angeli as a starter from the limited film we have? And for me, it would be when he's under duress, what does that look like? Because I think he is mentally, I think he's unflappable. And I think if you give him time, he can dice you up. But just in pressure, that would be my thing for him, which it's kind of like every quarterback, though. It's kind of a standard thing. But I just remember that from Horka's show, and I just kind of want to throw that out there. For me, it's
and that's any young quarterback, obviously. I mean, you go back to all the quarterbacks that replaced, like when Rick Meyer came aboard, and Jarius Jackson replaced Ron Paulus, and all these things, moving forward, multiple quarterbacks through the years. Yeah, I mean, you don't know, but it's always going back to the reporting, how the coaches feel. And you are saying some positive things that you've gotten, and it's all these things prepping up to it. I mean, these quarterbacks are practicing like crazy. They're film study junkies. They're doing all this stuff with their coaches. They're preparing themselves for when they're the guy, because they want to go lead it. But you are right. They're I mean, playing in the fourth quarter with 50-point blowouts against bottom of the ACC teams is easy because there is no game plan. No one's scheming him and things of that nature. But you are right. How does he react that first time he gets hit in the mouth with a double gap blitz? We don't know, but that is practice, and those are all those things, and you just take them as they come.
Yeah, I know Notre Dame fans probably don't want to hear this, but like, I think his number one attribute. Oh man, is my computer has been having some real glitches lately where my screen just keeps shaking and it's been very messed up. But Tim, if I cut out, you can handle it for me. You can run the show until I come back.
I'll go in the chats. There's some good discussions.
Right.
I saw Andrew Gilmore wanted to talk tight end talk, so I thought that was fun.
Yeah. I think we're okay for now. But like, I think Steve's number one and like his number one quality is just like his mental, like he is just so confident and obviously I know a lot more about Steve than probably most players on the roster just because of how closely I covered him in high school and everything, and I just kind of I continued to follow his time at Notre Dame very closely, but just like everything you hear about like him upstairs is very impressive. So but like, but when things are not clean, how do you react in the game? That's kind of the biggest question. So
that's why you have some dudes on the outside. That's when you have some guys you could throw a quick game to and let them go shake and make plays. These are the constant things you're building. If you don't have a freak at quarterback to go make plays, and you're Steve Angeli and Ian Book, as you said, Sam Hartman, Jack Cohn, you still need some dudes on the outside and make plays. I mean, how many times you see Ian Book just throw lob balls to Claypool, Boyd? Heck, they beat LSU on a lob ball. The Boyd back in the Citrus Bowl. Some of those dudes help quarterbacks out, and that's what hopefully in 2024, if Angeli's the dude, he's got a couple of those guys on the outside to go bail him out at times.
Yeah. So Jay Carr just said Goolsby's rolling his eyes after that comment regarding a Notre Dame quarterback whose best trait isn't physical. And I know, I thought it as soon as I said it, that's why I said I know you guys are tired of hearing this, but it still is a really good quality to have.
Well, it's like Mac Jones at Alabama. He's not running by anybody. Mac Jones was a stud because he could throw a slant to Devontae Smith and watch him go 80. So it's like that's fun playing quarterback when you got that. You just dink and dunk and you go to those guys. As I always said, that Alabama Notre Dame game in 2020, Smith scores 3 touchdowns in the first half. A bubble pass behind the line of scrimmage breaks everyone down. A slant and an 8-yard bend route crosser. Those were his big giant routes he ran against Notre Dame.
My computer's hanging on by a thread, Tim.
Is it
really? My computer's hanging on by a thread. It's got the little spinny wheel. I can't click on anything. I didn't even mean this comment on the screen right now. I didn't even mean to click on that. I don't even know how that got up there. But the one right above it from Mike Nolan, I will pop it on the screen when I can. Mike, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says Tim is right on Angeli. Tyler doesn't snow job from Tommy. Angeli's QB3. Tyler loved Notre Dame reflex bad on Reese. That was a handful.
Yeah, what? Tyler
I can't pop it up on the screen.
I can't read it. I'm trying to interpret, text slang.
It's from Mike Nolan a minute or so ago.
Yeah, I don't know what reflects bad on Reese. I don't think he minds. He's down there at Alabama getting ready to go play in the SEC championship game.
Fun times. Yeah, for whatever reason, my laptop, it's a good laptop, but it's just been on the fritz lately.
Don't touch anything.
I'm going to have to pull up the stream on my phone to continue to look at the chat because my computer is frozen, Tim. Just give me 1 second, guys. This is the joys of live television.
Got a few starred here.
All right, I got it. Crash Davis, $10 super chat says, love the show. Crash Davis, always great to see you in the chat, my friend. Yes, hope that you are doing well, and you guys all have a very happy Thanksgiving. What else did I have start up, Tim? Because my screen is frozen.
I mean, you got that. You got Corey's right here. Then one guy, Noah, says he would stay at Notre Dame, talking about Angeli, which we've talked about that. Love the show. Mike Nolan, you just did.
No. Noah's comment was that he would stay at Notre Dame, if he knew. What can you read?
Oh,
the
yeah.
comment?
Yeah, it's right here. I would stay at Notre Dame if I were the backup quarterback and Mike Singer loved me. So there you go.
That I thought that was funny. Noah, I got to meet before the Pitt game. Noah yelled at me. Is that Mike Singer? And got a picture of Noah. So that was cool. All right, Tim, we're gonna. I think we're done on quarterback talk. Carberry.
Oh yeah. We're fine. I mean, we're gonna talk about this
screen.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna talk about this 8 million times, especially once we know who's gonna be coming here after the bowl game.
Okay.
That's all this stuff. Actually, it's December 4th, so we'll probably know. Last I checked, is the portal's only open for like 20 days this time. It's 2 weeks, 10 days shorter than last year. So we'll know. It opens December 4th. So we may know well before the bowl game who the guy's going to be.
Okay. All right. We're back. All right. I can edit things again on my screen. So we're done. 41 minutes in. I thought that was going to take about 10 minutes, Tim, but it should not surprise me that we went over talking about quarterbacks.
It's all fun.
But I will say, as I head down to the Sunshine States tomorrow morning, you know what I might need, Tim, is a little bit of Rogue Shop product with all the in-laws and everything. So that's where we're going to talk about the sponsor, second sponsor for today's show. Rogue Shop, the husband and wife outfit, as Mr. Rogue and his wife Shar are craft cannabis farmers who specialize in small batch sustainable plant medicine, a true holistic type of small business. They farm and grow everything themselves and do it all by hand. And their website to visit again is rogueshop.com, ROGUE shop.com. They sell everything from CBD, THC edibles, tinctures, smokables, bath salts, pain creams, topicals, vapes, candles, soaps. If you have issues sleeping, you have chronic pain, and or have anxiety, stress issues, you're going to head to rogueshop.com, hop on a live chat with Shar and Mr. Rogue, and ask them any questions that you have. And when you purchase something, to let them know that we sent you, you can use our promo code blue and gold for 10% off your order. That's rogueshop.com. Use promo code blue and gold. Okay, Tim, a really interesting discussion is like there was just senior day. I think it was 30 guys ran out there. Freeman warned us before, like, hey, just because someone, walks on senior day doesn't necessarily mean they're not coming back. And also, if they don't walk, that doesn't mean they're not going to declare, kind of thing, if they're in their fourth year. But so there's that. But I think it's a good time to have the discussion now before the guys can hit the portal about or hit the portal or, declare for the draft, whatever it is. Your thoughts on some guys who could return, but may go to the NFL. Because there's three names for me, Tim, that are the biggest that I think Notre Dame needs to have back. I mean, I'll talk about them, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah, I mean, just throw out a bunch of names. I mean,
all right, no, I got three. I got the three most important.
Okay.
All on defense.
Okay. Oh, God, yeah.
Riley Mills.
Okay.
Notre Dame would love to have Riley Mills back. Howard Cross. If Notre Dame can bring back Riley Mills and Howard Cross, how important that would be to the defensive line. And then obviously X Watts. If Notre Dame's able to get X Watts back, that would be very ideal. But a fifth year? Can they get Xavier Watts for a fifth year? Right? It would be his fifth year? Yeah.
Yeah. Class of 2020 with the infamous Jordan Johnson. So that Jay Brunel, that stellar wide receiver class that year, right?
Yeah. On paper, dude, I will still defend that class, but that's a different.
On paper, exactly.
But if Notre Dame can, and can I make an argument for Estime and Auld and Fischer? Sure, but I think those guys are all going. For me, these are the three kind of fringe guys.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going with these guys and not the obvious best players on the team.
Yeah, my quick on them is, when I hear Riley Mills, instantly, first off, he's a Notre Dame grad. So if he came back for a fifth year, it's a COVID year. He's played 4 years. He played in 20, 21, 22, 23. So does Riley Mills need 5 years of playing Notre Dame football. I mean,
Notre
Hyde
Dame
did. What's that?
It's a Notre Dame hopes.
Oh, no, exactly. So my take, and last year he was one of the guys that asked for an NFL grade, if I remember right. So he's been thinking NFL for a long time. So he's massive. I mean, isn't he on the cover of Blue and Gold? I think I saw it on Twitter. And he's just massive. So he's going to make an NFL roster because he's huge. He's going to be a 3-tech. He's a nose guard. He's just going to be a big body in there. I look at it as, people are like, well, he needs to work on this and that and that. Good. Go work on it when you make $400,000. I mean, in the NFL, he'll make a team. Notre Dame guys are tough, fundamentally sound. He will make a football roster. He'll get picked in the 3rd round, 4th round because of his size and go be one of those Buffalo Bill linemen, that Steeler type guys that play forever. So me personally, I would be stunned if he came back because he's played 4 years. Going back to Howard Cross, I don't understand the whole 6-year thing. Even Hartman and all this stuff. You want to play 6 years of college football? My Lord, that's a long time. So here's another guy that's played a ton of football at Notre Dame. He's going to be on multiple All-American teams this year. Does he come back for a 6-year, a 3rd master's degree, or however many he has right now? I have no idea. And he's another one. It's like I'll be stunned. I'll be stunned if they're coming back. Boom, high five, awesome. I just don't see Mills, Cross coming back.
Watts
is interesting because is he the one, Mike? You go to the fund and you're like, this is our
sure
name, image, and likeness gentleman for next season. God, man. I mean, when he moved in 2021. It was noticeable the first time he got out there a few games. Maybe it was Virginia. And that was our first, you and I doing our post-game shows. Noticeable his athleticism. He showed it off a ton last year. I used to just scream at the camera, like, play this guy. Just play him. He's so athletic. And this year, he's been in the right spot at the right time. He's got a lot of balls in the belly button, which is perfect, right? The right spot, right time. He's, we haven't seen the Kyle Hamilton going and robbing balls and all that. But he's getting coached, which goes back to O'Leary, right? Up for NFL jobs last year. So O'Leary may be in the NFL after coaching, Hamilton and Watt. So who knows? I bet he goes. I mean, heck, he's up for National Defensive Player of the Year award. He's going to be first team All-American, leads the country in picks. Take it while it's hot, unless they got a nice check to do that. And then another one that's up there is just, when you're going to juniors, Alt's a no-brainer. He's going to be a top 10, 15, top 8, whatever the hell it is. It depends how he is so freaking good. He's unbelievable. He got called on holding Saturday, and he pancakes the living hell out of this dude. I'm like, how is that holding? And he's looking around like, I just knocked the guy on his butt. It's a holding. He's so good. And Estime's got to go just because the carries, the body. NFL doesn't give a damn about running back, so go make some money as fast as you can. And Fischer, I always thought he was going to go. And my opinion on Fischer was after Stanford, that's 27 starts at Notre Dame. 27 starts. Notre Dame offensive linemen matter in the NFL.
Yeah,
they make teams. He will get drafted and make a team and be a guy. Heck, Tommy Kramer has started games in the NFL for 2 different teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if Fischer takes those 27 starts and leaves. It'd suck because I think he has so much he needs to clean up and keep working on, but that's that take. And then who else is out there? The linebackers. I think all 3 fifth-year guys are gone. Once again, does J.D. Bertrand want to do a 6-year of playing? No, I think all 3 of those guys are gone. So we're going to know
Tyree
real quick. Who's that?
Tyree.
Well, Tyree is one that needs another year because he's never played wide receiver until this year.
I think he would be wise to come back.
And he's still raw. I mean, Mike, he kind of got quote unquote benched against Wake. But didn't do a few good things. And you could see Stuckey talking to him on the sidelines, and they played all those young guys. So I think Tyree in a second season of playing ball would be awesome. And this would be his COVID year, just like Riley Mills, because he's played 4 years.
Yeah. Tell me if this is a bad take or not, Tim, because I kind of came up with this regarding Fischer.
Sorry, half of mine are, so it's okay.
So would it be less impactful if he did leave because Notre Dame's just so stacked behind him?
Whoa, well, let me back up 2.2 seconds here. How stacked? I mean, you want to talk about unsure? It's more unsure at offensive tackle than it is a quarterback. That's my opinion. We have
Okay.
zero clue. I think it is the interior is going to be good as hell next year.
Mhm.
Billy Schrauff was really good
Yep.
against Ray. Craig now basically, a game and a half under his belt.
Spindler.
Those guys are solid. Whatchamacallit, Coogan is gonna, you're not gonna throw away 13 starts, Coogan, but then you got Rocco coming back from his MCL. We won't really know about him until late spring training camp, but interior is gonna be solid. Tackles, man, we have no clue, guys. Tosh Baker has never looked like a dude that's gonna be a bookend tackle.
Keep going.
Wagner's got talent times 10, but he's never played a snap, has he? So, Jagasaw obviously played little man football in high school and just mauled people. His talent's off the charts. You see it, all those good things. But, dude, those are some question marks.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
There are some huge question marks behind Fischer and Alt going pro. So,
Yeah. I think the like of these players, he's the most fascinating one if he comes back or not.
who's that, Tyree?
No, Fischer.
Oh, Fischer. Gotcha.
Because like you can make a really, really good argument either way for him. Like if you're in his shoes to stay or to go, you go now. Maybe you're a little bit lower, but if you come back and you're Notre Dame's left tackle, and then you could go get picked in the top 10. I don't know. I could see it. But I could also see him going now. You have your opportunity to go now.
I don't think he's a top 10 athlete. That's the other. He's not a Ronnie Stanley with the athleticism. McGlinchey was picked probably above his pay grade, but he's been a starter every year he's played in the NFL. Zach Martin's been a stud. He came back for a fifth year. It's interesting. You compare Ronnie Stanley and obviously Fischer because they're both the same. Took a red shirt, 2-year starters. Stanley came back after talking with Stan Kelly and a long talk with Zach Martin. Like, dude, get as much training as you can. So when you show up in the NFL, you're ready. I remember reading about that back in the day when Lou Samoji reported on all those things. So, yeah, I hope Fischer really sits back, calls Martin, which I'm sure he'll talk to those guys. I'm sure the Notre Dame staff's going to set all those calls up and pick their brain and see what he has. But, yeah, Fischer's sloppy. When he's on, he mauls people.
Yeah.
But he's still a little sloppy. He is.
All right, I just want to my bad take again. I didn't really filter it. I just want to throw it out there because I was just thinking, man, like when you talk about the tight ends, like there's always tight ends in Notre Dame. It's gonna be fine at tight end, like offensive tackle. Like there's just so much. I mean, Notre Dame's recruited so well on the offensive line. But what about Jordan Botelho? Mike wants to know.
It's great when you look at the defensive numbers this year. It's God, I don't want to say it, Tim. It's almost like they played with 10 all year, correct? And I don't want to say that since Ohio State. But they haven't had a Viper. What's that?
I said, I'm glad you didn't say that then.
But they haven't had a Viper all year. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's been hit or miss. Botelho's been solid against the run, 0 pass rush. No edge. We've got no edge pressure from the Viper this year. And that was one of my takes, right? Holy moly. You want to talk about bad takes, Mike? I said the Viper position is going to be up there with sacks like Adamiola and Foskey. That was like, don't ever let me say that again. I think they have 4 this year as a group, maybe 5. But, yeah, Botelho's interesting. That's another guy who played special teams. So he would be a COVID guy 5th year like a Mills, Tyree. Does he go back to the West Coast, grad transfer? Who knows? I would take him back because, once again, I'm not a fan of throwing away starts. And he's played all season long. So, which to me means all that experience. Plus, he's a first-time starter. So bring him back. And he didn't walk. You got Watts, Botelho, and a couple other guys people were questioning did not walk on Saturday. So, but Jordan Botelho was one of those. Did not walk. Oh, Tosh Baker did it as well. So does that mean they're coming back? I hope so.
Mike Nolan, appreciate the super chats. Folks, if you're just watching with us, hit the thumbs up. Of course, subscribe to the channel for more content. Tim, We got to talk about Notre Dame Stanford, of course.
Sure.
7 p.m. kickoff Eastern time, 4 p.m. out on the Pacific, in the Pacific time zone. It's on the Pac-12 network. I do not get it. Tim, do you get the Pac-12 network? No. Fubo
By the
TV.
way, by the way, what in the living heck? What's the Pac? How much money did that commissioner make over all these years? How did he screw up literally one of the best conferences in America? Even when they don't make a playoff because they're all eating each other, they're just devouring each other. This year, they're the best conference in America. They're going to have 2 Heisman Trophy finalists. They had the Heisman Trophy winner last year. It's like that guy, man, unbelievable mess of just killing West Coast. He killed West Coast football.
Yeah, the irony of how bad the Pac-12 has been their last year, it's amazing. I mean, I don't know about best conference in football, but
it's when you're talking top to the competitiveness, like Arizona is like 12th. Arizona football, for crying out loud. Okay,
I know
the Pac-12 is damn good this year.
it's been damn good, and I have been hating on the Pac-12 for years because I want the Pac-12 to be good, and it hasn't been. I've been very frustrated. I used to cover Colorado and Oregon State, so I used to have the Pac-12 network. It was part of my job, and God, was that terrible network. So Fubo TV trial is how I will be watching the game. I definitely recommend some of you folks if you are looking to.
I saw the app on my TV, so I'm gonna have to download that thing and log in.
So Tom DeMay just said, "Hate that I'm so late to the stream." Well, bro, just restart the stream and you can catch the replay of it. So as a West Coast guy, Tim, I'm curious your take on this rivalry as a West Coast guy and a lifelong Notre Dame fan. I mean, Notre Dame has, mostly dominated the series, especially from 2002 to 08, with that 7-game win streak. Yeah, Tim, just your thoughts on this rivalry, especially with Stanford. I can't believe what I'm about to say. Going to the ACC, make that make sense. The Atlantic Coast Conference, a team, in California. But yeah, Tim, just kind of curious about, because Freeman was asked about this. You know what, Tim? Let me read the quote. So Freeman was asked about, like, hey, would you like to see this as an annual thing with Stanford moving to the ACC? And here's what Freeman said. It's an unbelievable rivalry as you look at both of our institutions, the values we have in terms of student-athlete experience, the educational values that both universities provide. It's a great rivalry that we're going to try to continue to have as long as we can. As you guys know, those decisions are made by people above me, but I'm always a proponent of making sure we can keep this rivalry as long as we can. So, Tim, do you agree with Hartman? Do you agree with Freeman there?
Yeah, I have no problem with this rivalry. Heck, they play for a trophy, so trophy games are always fun. I have no problem with this. There's been great games in the past. I mean, the first time Notre Dame ever went west was to the Rose Bowl, the Four Horsemen, to play these guys. So, I have no issues with this. God, the Notre Dame losses are gut wrenching.
Yeah,
1990, it's like Derek Brown has the ball in his hands to win the game, drops it. 1992, Notre Dame's got like 800 guys playing in the NFL. They're up 16-0 and lose 33-16. How the hell is that possible? With Meyer, Bettis, Bryant Young, Aaron Taylor, blah, 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 and they lose. Harbaugh obviously got him rolling. I mean, just running the ball. He was so damn physical in those Weiss years. Obviously the early Kelly years, Shaw. And heck, Brian Kelly used to talk about, Andrew Gilmore talked about this in one of the chats earlier, how Notre Dame probably, they pretty much did a Harbaugh model, tight ends, O-linemen, because those are the guys they can recruit. And Andrew's so correct on that. And that's been Notre Dame's strength the last 15 years when you look at it. But no, it's been a fun rivalry. I was at the 05 game, which was the $8 million Fiesta Bowl game. Back then, that was the last game of the original Stanford Stadium. Literally 90% of the fans were Notre Dame people up in 05. And you saw that all the trucks, the construction trucks, looked like Bob the Builder out there getting ready, and all the things going. As soon as the game ended, man, they kicked us all out. They start ripping stuff down that night, which was wild. So I was there where Brady Quinn takes him down 80 yards to go win that football game, go to the Fiesta Bowl. That was fun. So no, it's been some good games. Going to the ACC, I think they're going to continue this each and every year. So it's 1-12. Notre Dame needs games, right? So there you go. 1-12. They got to get 9 Power Fives each and every year, 10. So just play it. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, Troll Sniper says Notre Dame provides the best balance of academics and football. Stanford isn't quite up to par in the athletic department, at least not recently. But in talking to Notre Dame sources over the years, when Notre Dame's competed against Stanford for recruits, what the people inside the Google say is like, oh, well, if you choose Stanford over Notre Dame, then you wouldn't have made it here anyways. Now, I think part of that is just being a little bit salty, but I think there's some truth in that. Like, if you are choosing Stanford over Notre Dame, the feeling from them is that like you're choosing academics, like just straight up over football, like academics, and then you're not gonna, that if you come here, like you're gonna need the football side. Like
they've lost some dudes, so I don't know about that because the Harbaugh Shaw years, they have a winning record against Notre Dame in those years, and
I think it might be more. Yeah,
it may be recent as they've been down. I mean, COVID really killed Stanford. It did. David Shaw's talked about that, how it just killed them and the mojo they had going. But Mike, they've lost. You go back the last 15 years from Harbaugh to Shaw. No, there's Notre Dame commitments who decommitted to go to Stanford.
Yeah.
So it was those two coaches had it rolling. So I know people, Harbaugh and whatnot. I was at another game, Mike. I've been to a few games in my life. I was at the 2007 game. People remember this. The upset. I was in the Coliseum when they upset USC that night. That's what got this ball rolling for Harbaugh, is that 2007 game. Had free tickets. I went to the game, and we're sitting in the stands like, holy crap, I think Stanford was a 33-point underdog, and we're like, shit, they're going to win this game. And that was, oh, my God, that was awesome to see that game and watch SC lose that night. So that's good times. Someone says I need Hyde to tell me why Michigan is going to lose by 24. I hope they lose by 24. How's that? There you
go. Chief Brody, good to see you. Here, speaking of, I want to end the show on this, is talking about a player who picked Stanford over Notre Dame. How about recent memory? Someone who Notre Dame could really use on the team this year is Elick Ayomanor. He's a sophomore. Woo! He had that crazy touchdown. I think it was against Colorado or something earlier this year. 55 receptions, 955 yards, 6 touchdowns. He camped at Notre Dame. Summer of 2021, got an offer, and he's from Canada. He picked Stanford right over Notre Dame. Notre Dame could really have used this guy as an outside receiver, 6'2", 210 pounds. Jaden Slocum in the 2021 class, a kid from my neck of the woods. He picked Stanford over Notre Dame. I think guys who pick Stanford over Notre Dame are like super Notre Dame kids. It's like you're leaning on the academic side a ton. I have a great deal of respect for Stanford football. Like, I think college football is better when all parts of the country are represented. I'd even throw Boston College in there, Tim. Like, college football is better when even BC.
No, it's not. No, I hate BC.
I know you do.
No, having BC down is always good when Notre Dame plays them. Are you kidding me? I don't want a competitive BC.
I'm talking about for college football in general. I'm not talking about from a Notre Dame perspective. I just think I like it when every conference is relevant and in all parts of the country are good. Because other than
Notre Dame,
Boston College, like, who are you even gonna throw up there in the Northeast, bro? Northeast football's terrible. Syracuse.
Yeah, don't say Q's with Golden. Here we go with that. But I want Notre Dame, SC, Michigan to all be competitive, fun Saturday games.
Whoa!
I want BC to be down.
Not Michigan. No.
Oh, I love when those two go toe to toe.
We got enough in the Midwest.
There's classic battles, man. Classic battles.
All right, Tim. That's going to wrap it up for this week's video and podcast here. That was a great discussion as always, and I dominated Tim in all arguments as I promised I would on Twitter.
I told you, Mike, if Angeli wins the quarterback job, I will do a backflip. I will do a backflip.
And we're going to
hold on. In all honesty, it's like if he wins the job, that means he beat out people. Fine. Kudos to him. I will be stunned. I'll be surprised. And I'll give that guy a virtual high five and say congratulations.
No, Oh, no, 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 no. You're gonna go give
Oh
him a
my!
high five yourself, and you're gonna do your backflips in front of Steve. I can coordinate it.
Yeah, yeah. We'll set that up. We'll set that up.
But yeah,
I just
fu yeah, fun
wow.
show as always. Let's see, shows coming up Friday morning. Myself and Kyle Kelly will be live on our YouTube channel talking some Notre Dame football recruiting. New rankings came out this week. I mean, that was on the potential topic list for me and Tim today, but didn't get to that. So
Thank
Kyle
you.
Kelly and I will talk about new. What's up?
I said thank you.
Yeah, I
Is
know.
it, yeah, recruit.
It was like 95% very positive update, but the
Yeah.
5% that was not was CJ Carr. So of course that's all people want to talk about. But it'll be fun on Friday morning. And then obviously post game show Saturday. Tim and I will be burning the midnight oil talking about Notre Dame Stanford. So join us on our YouTube page. And then Friday afternoon, Tim and I will have our final thoughts, observation, and prediction video posted to preview Notre Dame Stanford. And we're about to record that right now. So we're gonna sign off today's stream. So appreciate you guys for watching, listening, just making us at Blue and Gold part of your day. Hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, folks, we will catch you next time.